Hi, welcome to episode 39 of the New England Gal podcast. I am Janet and I live in central Massachusetts with my husband, our two boys, our cat, and our dog. You can find me on Instagram at the New England Gal and my shop on Instagram at Woolen Lights and on Etsy at Woolen Lights as well. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back to the podcast. And if you are a new viewer, welcome to the podcast. I hope you enjoy it. So I have to say, I got a tad bit sidetracked this week. I didn't touch my sweater at all this week. I barely touched my quilt when you see how little progress I made on that. And yeah, I started another project. It was not knitting, was not quilting. I went for a completely different hobby that I will share after the quilting content. So I'll start with what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the Rife by Jacqueline, Cieslak, and this is a little crop top. I'll kind of stand to show you. So I knit this at the beginning of this summer and it flew. It was done within a week and a half. I knit it out of Kelbourne Woolens Mojave. Yeah, Mojave base. I can't remember the name of the color, but I'll have it listed below. I love this pattern. I love the details with the twisted rib going up the side here. I don't know how well you can see it. I do have to say, I have determined that I don't mind knitting twisted stitches. I hate knitting purl stitches. Not my cup of tea at all. And there was a lot of twisted purl stitches, so but I did enjoy the knit. I love the way it fits. I love the drape of the material. I did follow the pattern as far as the body length goes. I should have known better. I am not a crop sweater or crop top person at all. I'm a jeans and t-shirt sweater type of person, so with the jeans I tend to like my shirts a little bit longer, hence why I have my drapey tank top on underneath. So I wish I had added a couple inches to it. I do love her, I think it's her Ursa pattern, and I do want to knit that. It's another crop top. I like the boxiness of these, so I would like to knit that one as well, but I will add in extra inches into the body when I knit that. I didn't do it with this one only because I had bought the yarn for a different project and I wasn't too sure if I would have enough, so I ended up just staying with the pattern, but I do love it. We did a social distance get together with some friends out by a fire pit one night, so I did wear it then, so I did get a chance to actually wear it. I do have to say, I went to the pharmacy right before this and I was wearing sweats, and I came home and I threw this on and I put makeup on. I didn't do my hair. It is 90 degrees and hot and humid, and it is just, if you see me playing with it, it's because I'm trying to get it off of the back of my neck because it's so hot. I have a hair tie in front of me. Worst case scenario, I may put it up halfway through this. With the lights, it's getting a little warm down here. But anyway, so I threw this on, but my older son, Jacob, looked at me and he's like, "Mom, why are you wearing leggings and a sweater? Shouldn't you just get dressed up if you're going to do a podcast?" And I'm like, nope, they're not going to see the bottom half of me. So, yep, wearing my leggings. I'm comfortable. That's all that matters. Anyways, so that long story, I'd say long story short, but it's a long story. But anyways, that is what I am wearing. So I do have one finished object. So I finished my pair of vanilla socks, and this is being knit, or was knit out of Woolen Lights in the Flowering Meadow colorway. And these are just my typical vanilla socks. So it's 64 stitches, 2x2 rib. I used to do 20 rows of ribbing, and I've gotten lazy and I've gone down to 15 rows of ribbing. And then these have the Fish Lips Kiss heel in them, and this is on my Merino Yak nylon base. So they are so soft and cozy, and I have a feeling they'd be super warm, but they are a shop sample. I can't say my S's, so I had to pause to make sure I said that correctly without tripping over my tongue. So these will go in there, and I do have one more sock set in my shop of this colorway. Eventually I'll get to dyeing more. I don't know, now I'm going to go off topic again, but it has been very difficult to get a hold of a yarn right now, with everything with COVID, and my supplier for my undyed yarn right now is having shipment delays and not getting them in. So hopefully I can get more bases in and get them some more of those dyed up. So that is it for my finished objects. So for my works in progresses, it's all been socks. So I'll start with my other vanilla sock, and again, just that they're all thrown in my bag, all my projects, because I'm not going anywhere and I don't need different project bags for them. They sit on my ottoman and they're all there, and whatever I decide to knit on, it's at my fingertips. So I am knitting these vanilla socks out of the Knit Picks Felici in the Toucan colorway, and I haven't gotten as much done on this as I had hoped. I kind of hoped it would be a half finished object by now, but not quite. So I was here last time, so I've made decent progress down the foot. I'm almost to the toe, and if you remember from last week, I messed up on my numbers. So I have 32 stitches on the bottom half of the foot and 36 on the top. So I just have to figure out how to move the markers so I have an even amount on both the top and bottom for the toe decreases. So, and then I need to remember to write it down so I remember what I did when I do the second sock. So that is where I am with that one. So this one, hoping to get the toe done. I may start the second sock before I finish the toe on this, only because I can do the rib knitting in the dark while watching The Office with the family, because God forbid we turn on the lights in our house. So my third and final work in progress is the Coffee Talk socks, and these are by Tracy Miller of the Grocery Girls. So I've made decent progress. I was here last time, so I have finished the leg. I have done the heel. So with the heel, I had said at first that I was going to do the slip stitch heel flap and gusset, which is what's called for in the pattern, except for I was outside on Sunday on my deck, and I don't know how to do the actual heel turn when it's a heel flap and gusset, and I was too lazy to get the directions, so I decided I was just going to do the Fish Lips Kiss heel because I have that memorized. So I just finished that, and I am starting on the foot, and look at that pattern in those, the yarn and the colors. I love this. So this is being knit out of a Woolenevine yarn, and this is the footsie base, which is the BFL nylon, and it's in the Feyre colorway, and don't know how to say it properly. It's a character from A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't know how to pronounce it, so, but it is a beautiful, it is blue and rust speckles on like a light, very light gray base. Here's the back of it. Oh, my ends. Thanks, Lego. So I'm enjoying this, and again, these are my socks that I work on when I drink my coffee in the morning. Although it's been busy at work, and I've been getting up and getting on the computer at 6 o'clock, so I haven't really the last few days been working on this at all. But I'm not logging on early tomorrow, so I can sit and have my coffee and work on that. So that is all for my knitting. And now it's time to show you the really pathetic, progress I made on my quilt. So I am no, we're on quilting. I am sewing. This is the French quarter quilt, and it's in this book, which I have no idea where I got it from, but it's the Jelly Roll Jambalaya quilt. And I'll stick a picture here, one of these sides of my squares all laid out for you. So I have gotten two rows put together of it. So this is all I have so far. And honestly, it probably only took me 15 minutes to put these 2 rows together, but I just wasn't feeling the sewing at all this weekend. I think with the iron and it was hot, and even the knitting, the wool was making my hands sweat, that this weekend I didn't want to sew, I didn't want to knit, and I'll get into what I decided to do instead. But so far, this is what I have. It's going to be a lap quilt. I started the 3rd row, and I got halfway through it, so hopefully I'll make some more progress, and can show you more next week, because I could have had a lot more done. I could have probably had it all pieced together had I actually concentrated on it. But to get off topic onto what I really ended up working on, so I decided to pick up a different craft this past weekend. So I've completed 2 cross stitches before. I think I have 3 cross-stitching works in progress, and didn't pick up any of the works in progress. Nope. I decided I was going to start a whole new project. So this is what I am working on. This is the pattern, and I thought this would be really good. I have a wall behind me with some inspirational things up there. So I figured I would cross-stitch this for the wall. I'll have it framed. So this is what I have so far. So I just have the little swoosh. What do you call it? The Nike swoosh? You know, as soon as the camera's off, I'll realize the word I wanted to say. And then this little teardrop. And so I haven't been going out, and I decided to see what colors I had to use for the cross stitch, and well, I lost my black. Oh, there it is. Everything always ends up in the floor. So they're not the colors that were actually in the pattern, but I thought they all worked really well together. The nice light turquoise, and then this dark turquoise. So I had them for other patterns I had purchased that I haven't started yet, but I should have plenty for both. So this will be perfect. So I think it'll be about a 5, maybe an 8x10. I'll frame it in a white frame and hang it up back there. So that's the plan. So that's where the majority of my time went to, and then I realized too how bad my eyes are, and I don't know where any of my cheaters are, or my readers, depending on what you call them. And I can only work on it when there's bright daylight. Otherwise I go to the vanilla socks because I can't see the tiny little holes. But I have been really enjoying this. So I find it very methodical, doing the little X's and sewing, and it seemed to be exactly what I needed this weekend. So that is it on everything I have been working on. And as far as what we've done this past week, it really hasn't been much. Yeah, it really hasn't been much other than the grocery store. My husband's been working extra long hours, which then in turn means I've been working extra long hours because taking the care of the kids and keeping track of them and doing all the house work is a full-time job, as well as working my 40-hour my 40-hour job, and then doing things for Woolen Lights as well. It's just been, we've been doing a lot and nothing all at the same time, if that makes sense to anybody. So I feel like this has been a super, super quick episode, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I will see you next week. Happy knitting. Bye.